Next speaker is Ngawang Tharchin. He is president of Tibetan Youth Congress of New York and New Jersey. And Tibetan Youth Congress is one of the earliest non-governmental organizations of Tibetan exile community, and since they established this, work tirelessly for freedom and independence of Tibet. So I got this is Ngawang Tharchin Ngawang Tharchin Malul Tubtin Jalochuti Horlin President New York, New Jersey, Majolsin Tubtin Jalochuti Horlin President. Then Johabe Wall Naga Tubtin Orvich Gartison Kunsin Don Hamaka and Pebble Johabe and Johabe Pebble Nasavat Tubtin Urtula Tubtin Toskarta Lin to the Hattikite at the first. Now, please welcome Mr. Ngawang.
If you write anything.
통화되라 드린디가 지구의 경배 겹제 아주 rimbuchi 수협에 rimbuchi 차로 기실라 남베니라 뉴욕 단 뉴저지 산에페 쉬는 종원에 참기 쉬에다가 아니 다 다른 도스 도조 소베 라와 소베기 안도스 데르슈바다 마투기 아니 개제 도지츠제 예 배산에 될 차비 자베 산에 쉬누기 겐케제 다와지 클래스 메시도메 이네 개제 도지츠제 될 차비 투지슈 디저다니 인게죠 쉬조지 I was sending my greetings to Hazara Mongolian and Geshe-la. Actually, I was just appointed the president of Tibetan Youth Congress of New York and New Jersey just a month ago. It is a kind of challenge for me to join this conference right after the appointment, and also it's more challenge for me to speak after the lunch. However, I would like to say Tashidelek and hello everyone. First of all, I would like to thank Mr. Angabatu and Southern Mongolian Human Rights Information Center for inviting me to join on this panel discussion on human rights issues under the communist regime, particularly in Southern Mongolian. It is indeed very sad that human rights situation under Chinese communist regime is getting worse day by day. Although the communist China has been open to the world since 1972, thanks to President Nixon. But despite being 46 years open to the world, China has always scored the least in human rights ratings when it comes to treating Tibetans, Mongolians, people of East Turkistan, Falun Gong practitioners, and many human rights activities and democracy supporters. As the main focus of today's conference will be on the issues of Chinese repressive policies in Southern Mongolia, in particular to recent case of elimination of Mongolian schools and denial of the Mongolian right to use a native language in social and public life, which is allowed in a Chinese constitution. As there is a saying, if you want to eliminate one's nation, first you have to wipe out the one's language. That's what exactly Communist China is doing in Tibet, doing in Mongolia and East Turkestan. So, for example, the most recent case is Tashi Wangchuk's case. Tashi Wangchuk hails from the Yushu. It's a we call it Gaikigudu. It's an epicenter of 2010 earthquake where thousands of people died. Tashi Wangchuk, a 33-year-old businessman, sees Tibetan language being fading away. He sees Tibetan language on the verge of extinction, so he spoke for the Tibetan language. He believed I don't know how much he trusts the Chinese constitution, but he has some hope that Chinese constitution might help the resolve and help the preservation of Tibetan language. So he went to China. He tried to sue the Chinese officials, but everything went in vain. In the end, he ended up in jail. So I just want to show his short documentary. So with that reason, he was imprisoned. So I just want to show this documentary.
On your computer, you need to get grammar.
I write pretty much all day, every day.
你好，请问是那个中央电视台的焦点访谈节目吗？能不能现有什么事情啊？因为我们整个藏区的学校的话，从小学到初中、高中，它的在多门课程中只有一门课程是藏文的。日常的这个生活中，像这个。 用的都是汉语，怎么了？是您认为是给这个藏区带来不便了，是吗？这样对我们的民族文化来讲是毁灭性的一种打击。我是准备要起诉然后我想问一下中央电视台的相关人士能不能报道这件事情？那么这个只能给您先记录下来，不反映。 能否采访用来主任取消？好的，那这个情况我们反映一下吧，李姓。我叫扎西。关于那么多人去自焚的我现在能理解他们，因为。 我们真正可以去做这件事情的渠道很少。无论任何人都不想生活在一个压力和恐惧的环境里面。从间接方面的话，它是一种谋杀民族文化的方法。 从政治方面来讲的话，一个民族需要消灭一个民族的话，首先需要消灭它的语言和那个文字。我们在那边不敢讨论这些问题，因为 现在很多手机和那些都可以监控，而且我们不知道在哪些地方放了一些监控或者监听器，它可以用任何名义来随便逮捕你，而且没有办法去上诉，或者说是因为没有一个完整的法律体系，所以我们没有办法去讨论这些问题。我的藏文一开始是我哥哥教我的，然后我现在的藏文的写作能力和那个汉语的写作能力，汉语的写作能力已经超过了藏文的写作能力。然后我自己也感觉得到藏文的使用能力和认识理解能力等都在退步。那牧区的生活的话，传统的话应该每家每户都会有一些一匹马或者2匹马，然后在一个特定的季节里面就进行一些比赛。政府举办这种大型的赛马节，是想对外界宣传藏族人的生活方式。有很多人会看赛马会，认为藏民族的发展方向是正确的。当地政府一方面在搞一些赛马会，宣传民族的发展，然后另一方面在控制藏民族文化的实际内的使用文字语言和一些方面的问题，在各个方面的管制都比较严格。那些的话，那就是它在表面上看起来是一种建设或者是一种帮助，其实是目的是为了达到消灭文化、民族文化的。你要学习真正的藏文化内容的话，只能说是去在寺庙里面当和尚学习藏族的文化，在其他地方的话就基本上没有。从2009年到现在，有140多个人自焚，他们自焚不仅仅是为了自己家里的一点事情，或者说是别的事情，他们也同样，我相信他们也同样看到了民族文化的消失和这些问题，但是我们没有渠道去解决这样的问题。但是我这一次是想通过中华人民共和国的法律手段来解决这个问题。我去北京的原因主要有2个，第一件事情是我想见一下中央电视台的媒体记者，看看他们能不能报道这件事情。第二件事情，我是想找中央的人民法院，我看看能不能结束这场官司，因为在中华人民共和国的法律里面明确规定是可以控告或者说是起诉任何一个官员。我直接进去看身份证，我可能就被带进去，带到公安局去，然后我需要想别的办法。有点失望，我想象之中它应该是开放性的媒体，报道是有一个真实性的。那现在能被分起来了，然后他们有选择性的那种进入或者说是拒绝。我去了10几家律师事务所， 但是他们大多数的律师没有回答相关的问题。有很多律师会说这种政策是对我们藏族有非常大的好处和利益方面的。我现在做这件事情，如果法庭能接受这场官司的话最好。如果说不能接受的话，他表达了一点，那就是整个藏族的问题通过法律是无法实现的。这一点它是至少体现出来这一个问题。我有没有想过自焚这种选择？如果走到一个尽头的话，比如说我被控制了，如果没有办法进行这样的下去，而且他们会逼迫我去让我说一些我不想说的事情，做一些我不想做的事情，我会选择自杀。
Shortly after this interview, he was arrested in 2016. He was put on trial on May 22nd, 2018. He was sentenced to 5 years just for this interview with the New York Times. He's supposed to release in 2021. We don't know in what condition he will come out. Most of the times, we believe he might not come out very well, very healthy. We see that case in most of the prisoners, or we might get his dead body, so that's totally uncertain. In this documentary, you can clearly see he has mentioned about the language repression. He has talked about the self-immolations going in Tibet, why people are choosing to die. Given a choice, nobody wants to die. Even if you have a little bit of pain, you choose to have a painkiller. If you have a little bit of allergy, you choose to take allergy medication. But then why these people are choosing to die, choosing to self-immolate? It's only reason because they are seeing their language, their culture being fading away, extinction in front of them. Tibetans are becoming minority in their own places, minority in language in their own areas. So these are the reasons why Tibetans choose to self-immolate. Even Mr. Tashi Wangchuk, he tries Chinese constitution. He tried Chinese constitution might solve the issue of Tibet, despite his various tries. He was put in jail at the end. So in this sense, clear message to the world that ethnic minorities or Tibetans, Mongolians, East Turkestan people are facing a daunting challenge in everyday life. Not only the individuals, the Buddhist institute like Larungars, which host more than 10,000 Tibetan Buddhist monks and nuns, there is a demolitions going on in Larungar since 2009. So the monks and nuns were reduced to 5,000. They were forced to, monks and nuns are forced to return their home. They were sent to re-education camps, like the Mongolians and East Turkestan's people were sent to the re-education camps. So these kind of atrocities Tibetans facing in Tibet, so do the same thing in Mongolia, in East Turkestan. His Holiness the Dalai Lama, by this July 6th, he's reaching 83 years old, and by the next 10th March, Tibetans are Tibetans are commemorating the anniversary of 10th March uprising. It'll be a 60th 10th March uprising. So that means Tibetans has been in exile for 60 years, and if the international community continues to remain silent, it is sending a clear wrong message to the other ethnic minorities, because Tibetans have struggled the struggle in a non-violent way. If this non-violent approach, if this non-violent struggle is not paid at the end, it is clearly sending a wrong message to the other ethnic minorities. So that's why international communities needs to support the Tibetan issue. Without much, I would like to conclude here. I would like to answer the questions if you have. With that, I would like to thank once again to the organizers for having me here. Thank you so much.